Hello and welcome back to our next episode of 25 Live at Home. We are here on January 19th, and today we're going to be talking about John 2, 1 through 11, a story popularly known as the wedding at Cana. So let's go ahead and get into our Bible story this morning. On the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine had been given out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman, what concern is that to you and to me? My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now, standing there were 6 stone water jars in the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to them, "Fill the jars with water." And they filled them up to the brim. He said to them, "Now draw some out, and take it to the chief steward." So they took it. When the steward tasted the water and known that it had become wine, and did not know where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, the steward called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first, and the inferior wine after the guests have become drunk. But you have kept the good wine until now." Jesus did this, the first of his signs, in Cana of Galilee, and revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. So, I don't know about you, but weddings can be pretty awesome. I just had one myself just this last September. So, there's just so much joy, so much fun, and so much celebrating. It signals a new season of someone's life. And I think this is a really fitting place for us to start this new year. So, let's start out with when and where. The wedding at Cana is a very significant event in the Bible. It's really important because it's Jesus' first miracle. It happened sometime in the year 28 AD when Jesus would have been about 30. Now, biblical Cana is believed to have been in Galilee, this region, in Israel at the time. As we think about the wedding at Cana, it's really, really important, and the timing of it, because Jesus doesn't feel quite ready. But this is the beginning of his ministry. So, who was there? Jesus and Mary were there, and the 12 disciples. And I don't know about you, but sometimes, especially when I was younger, it could feel like when I had to go to a wedding that I was being drug along by my parents. I might not have known people at the wedding, or I barely knew the people who were getting married, but you're lucky enough, like Jesus, if you're lucky, you have a few friends. So Jesus brought his 12 friends with him. So what's going on here? Well, while Jesus is there at this wedding, disaster strikes. The wedding is out of wine. Now, it wouldn't be a normal wedding without a little bit of disaster. I mean, heck, our own wedding, we had our pastor get sick. Pastor Rob had to share a virtual message. Thanks, Rob. We had a bunch of my own relatives started to eat the wedding cake that was supposed to be just for Lauren and I before the sheet cakes had come out. So, running out of wine is another disaster and fits right along in it. Now, in Jesus' case, as they run out of this wine, Jesus didn't really want to do things. He didn't really want to perform this miracle and show the world he was God's son quite yet. But his mother insisted. And like a good son, Jesus goes and he does his mom this really big favor, and Jesus saves the day. He calls to the servants and they bring over these big casks that were meant for purification of water, and Jesus blesses them and they turn into wine. So why are we learning about Jesus listening to his mom? That seems pretty normal. Well, it's because this is the beginning of Jesus' ministry. What a great place to start our new year. We start at the beginning. And it has me thinking, what would Jesus have for his New Year's resolutions? Most of us get resolutions and we don't always follow through. I mean, there's a reason that 2 weeks after New Year's, there's a Friday that people talk about it that everybody quits. But I have a feeling that if Jesus had set his mind to a New Year's resolution, he'd follow through. But I don't want to assume that I'd be able to tell you what Jesus' New Year's resolutions would have been. I don't really think he'd be resolving to go to the gym more often, but what I can guess at is the New Year's resolutions that our church should have. First, I think that Jesus would want us to love and be kind, to welcome everyone, to include everyone, to affirm everyone. Let everyone know that they have value and that they are important and that God made them so wonderfully to be who they are. Number 2, feed the hungry. We do this so well at St. Andrew with our food market, but let's make sure that we continue this great mission and help out in new ways if we haven't done so before. Resolution number 3, welcome others to the church. Look for folks who may not have a church home and see if they join us. I think Jesus would love to see us welcome new folks this new year. Job number 4, resolution number 4, stand up to hate, injustice, unfair practice, people worrying too much about power, bullies at our schools. Jesus would want us to find ways to make our world a safe and loving place in His image. That's resolution number 4. And resolution number 5, pray more, read the Bible more, and learn more about Jesus. I think all these are great starting points, but there are sure more great ones out there just waiting for you and your families to think of them. So thank you so much, and it is time to let Sarah and Nicole take over with our interview this week.
All right, welcome to this week's episode of 25 Live at Home. Today we are welcoming Caitlin Lampkins. Many of you may know her already, but I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself and how long she's been at St. Andrew.
So I'm Caitlin. I have been at St. Andrew my whole life. I was, I guess you could say, born into this church. I grew up doing the youth programs, and then I did basic and ETC, and now I'm back as an adult, so it's kind of fun. It's very full circle. I've lived in Iowa City my whole life, and now I go to the University of Iowa, and I'm studying elementary education. So I graduate this spring. So that's super weird. And then some things I'm involved in. I am in a sorority on campus, and then I am also involved in Dance Marathon, which is what I'm going to talk about. And I've been involved with that since, I've been involved with the University Dance Marathon since high school, but I've just been involved with Dance Marathon since elementary. So very long time. Wow. That'll also be weird to be done with after this year. Yeah.
So you've already kind of talked about what one of your passions is with the Dance Marathon. Is there a specific reason why it's really important to you?
So in elementary school, I just started going to it because we had our own mini dance marathon. Mm-hmm. And that was just when everyone was kind of starting to hear about the Flash family, Austin Trader. And so my school, we just all felt really connected to it. And so we had our mini dance marathon, and I feel like that kind of connected me to it originally. But then throughout the years, I've just met I've made a lot of friends through Dance Marathon. And then in high school, I got to meet some more families who are part of our Dance Marathon family, and they kind of pulled me in a little bit. And then since then, I've just met so many more families in Dance Marathon, and it's just really important to me to be able to see how we can support them both financially, but also just emotionally. We'll do our own events and stuff with just the families, nothing related to raising money. It's we'll go to Bloomsbury Farm and just have a fun fall festival day kind of thing. So it's just fun to really get to meet the families we actually are helping. Mm-hmm. And it's just a really important cause to me because no family should have to go through this alone. So
right. Yeah, it can be a very tough time for families
mm-hmm.
to have your kiddo in the hospital. Can you tell us kind of some of the ways that you help to raise money for the Dance Marathon?
Yeah, I wrote some down because there's a lot. So some of the ways that I personally will raise money is I reach out to a lot of my friends and family and our family friends and my super extended family, and mm-hmm. they can either donate through a cash donation, or they can Venmo me, or we have a website that you can we're all called dancers, even though I don't dance. I'm so far from being a dancer, but that's what we're all called. People that register were dancers, and each person has their own dancer page. So I'll send my link to my dancer page to all my friends and family, and they can donate straight through that to make it convenient. Or you can just make a general donation to our website, just it just goes to the whole organization instead of a specific person. Another thing I do is I feel like I've maybe been doing this since maybe the beginning of college. I don't know if I did this in high school, but I collect cans to bring into the can shed.
Okay.
And then the cash that I get back from that, I'll just put into my dancer account. I've also done bake sales. I've seen that holiday bake sales especially are very successful. So I'll raise money through a bake sale. And then our organization as a whole will do football canning or like neighborhood canning, which is just like going door to door or tailgate to tailgate, asking for donations. We have these, they're probably like this big, like this size of a paper, and they're a box that has like a description of what Dance Marathon is, and you can just put donations directly into that. So we either go in certain neighborhoods asking for it or tailgating for football. And then with that, we also do I think it's called pop can pickup. And so you'll collect pop cans throughout the game day, and then they bring those into the can shed to get money from that too. And then what else? We also work with a lot of different businesses, and so they'll just give like general donations, and so they'll be like our sponsors for different amounts, I guess. And then they can either do like a money amount donation, or say if it's like Poncheros or like a food place, they can donate food to us to use at an event so that we don't have to buy our own food. And like for our big event, that's really helpful because that's almost 1,000 people that you would have to be buying food for. So it's really nice to be able to get donations of food for those events. Yeah, there's a lot of ways.
And just in case, I kind of want to backtrack. So Dance Marathon supports.
Yes, that is important to define. So Dance Marathon supports specifically like the children at the hospital with pediatric cancer or other, I think, life-threatening illnesses. So like at the football games when we wave, those are like the kids that we're waving to. And so, lost my train of thought. But yeah, so we raise money for the kids and their families. And then, like I mentioned earlier, it's not just like financial, we're also like emotionally supporting them. We have volunteers that will go in weekly to volunteer with some of the kids in there. I know one of my close friends, she does it every week and she loves it. She talks about it, and she just always has so much fun there. And so it's really nice that we're able to support them with like finances, because clearly it's not something that is cheap. So and it's not something people want to spend their money on either. So we'll, like, some of the things we do is like we'll give them gift cards to get meals so that they don't have to do that. We'll give them parking vouchers so they don't have to pay for hospital parking, because that can also get really expensive. But it's just even small things like that will help pay for it, and then bigger things too. But yes.
So you said you started participating when you were in the elementary schools. How is it different with the elementary school than it is with college?
So in elementary schools, that was actually, I was in charge of this last year, so I know quite a bit about it. Those are called our mini dance marathons, and it can be like an elementary school, a middle school, or a high school that can do it. At the elementary level, it's generally like they'll either do something during the day. They'll set aside like a few hours, couple hours to have like different age groups come in, and they'll a lot of the time like raise money leading up to the event, and then they'll just kind of have a fun celebration. And that could be during the school day, or sometimes if it's like a bit more in depth, which this definitely takes a bit more planning, they'll have it like at nighttime. And it can be like their parents and their families can come to I think they generally always have it at their school. And then they'll have, maybe they made like t-shirts that they're selling for it to help raise money, food, snacks. They'll have like balloons or glow sticks, just anything that they can like get more money raised through the event. And those are really fun. That's how mine was when I was there. Sorry. when I was in elementary school, mine was a nighttime one, so it was fun to like come back like later at night and have the school all decorated, and it was basically just you hanging out with your friends the whole time. So it's really fun.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that, because even though my children are in elementary school, I still don't completely understand when they come home and tell me
Yeah.
what's happened that
Yeah.
day. So, you've kind of mentioned how children and families get involved already
Mhm.
with donating money or donating food supplies. Is there any other ways that you would encourage children and families that they could be involved with the dance marathon?
Yeah. I also wrote this down because there's quite a few ways.
Yeah.
I think the easiest one is just volunteering at our events.
Okay.
I know especially for our big event that we have at like, so every school year, all of our like events we have throughout the year are leading up to our what we call our big event.
Okay.
And that's the first weekend in February each year. And it's a 24-hour event. Like it's very organized, has a lot going on at all times. So
Okay.
it needs a lot of planning. So there's volunteers, like sign up slots throughout
Okay.
the entire 24 hours. And it could be like people at the check-in table, people handing out breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Uh-huh.
People can volunteer like in our family room. We have a specific room set aside just for our families to go to if they like need a break or just want to
Sure.
be with each other and stuff. But I think that would be one of the more exciting like opportunities to get involved, just because you would get to see our actual event and like what we
Okay.
do and
Okay.
what's going on. That I think is generally posted about like on our social medias. They have an Instagram and a Facebook
Okay.
that they'll post. It's just like a sign up genius.
Okay.
I make my parents do it every year. They enjoy it. They like
Nice.
it. You get a free t-shirt, so it's kind of fun. And then another way like to get more involved is just going, like if your school has a mini dance marathon,
Mhm.
just go to your mini dance marathon, like donate some money, do that.
Sure.
If you don't have one, you can help start one.
Okay.
It's much easier than you would think,
Okay.
because on our end, it's more just stuff that we do on our end.
Okay.
But it's basically you just set a date, you help plan the event, and then they can do that together. And if you don't want to do like a whole event, you could do like a coin war, a penny war
Mhm.
between grade levels to help, and then just donate the money you get through that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because one year, I think it was last year when I was doing it, a school like dropped it off to me, and it was literally just a giant bag of a bunch of coins, and I was like,
Oh no.
oh my, I don't have to count it.
No,
So
you can take it to a
I was-
bank, right?
I was like, not really my problem, but I was like, have fun with this, guys. It was so heavy.
That's funny.
Let me think. And then another thing you could do is just go to our events throughout the year. A lot of our events are just like open to the public. They are
Okay.
a bit later at night because it's, college students. So
Right.
I don't know how many kids would want to be staying up that late, but
Well, the kids do. The parents don't want them to.
yeah. But we have like our campaign release is just
Yeah.
like at the IMU.
Okay.
So it's pretty much just open for all, and just all of our events we have throughout the year, you can just go to them. They're just on campus.
Sure.
We also have like community days.
Okay.
So that would be like if we partner with, I'm trying to think, we've done it with like Cortado. It's a coffee shop.
Okay.
A certain percent of their proceeds from that day will go towards us.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And so like you could go get a coffee, and then some of that money we will get back.
Mhm.
So we do that a lot. That's another way we fundraise, which I forgot earlier. And then the like most simple way, but this doesn't really get you involved, but it does help a ton, is just
Sure.
to donate money.
Right.
Like it helps so much. Even $5
Right.
helps
Right.
so much.
Right.
Anything to just get a little bit extra.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because I personally know that it's very expensive and
Yeah.
it's a very hard time, and there's lots of things that you don't,
yes.
as a parent of a child who's sick, you don't expect to have all those bills. And there's
Mhm.
lots of, it's so great to have people like you and the dance marathon, all those people who volunteer to help out with that. But
Yeah.
so we really appreciate having you come and tell us about it more, because a lot of people I don't think know about it. And
Yeah.
so that's very good.
Yeah, the name is deceiving.
Yeah.
It's not an organization about dancing.
No.
Oh, I know a motto one year was like bad dancing saves lives. So
Yes.
I like that one a lot.
Elaine Dennis.
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank you so much
Yes,
for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
yes, thank you very much for your time.
All right, welcome back. We are going to go over our table conversations for this week. So, thinking this week about our new year, what are resolutions that you have as a family? What are ways that we could be more involved at church this year? What can we do to learn more about Jesus this year? Who could we invite to church? And what are we looking forward to in 2025? I hope you all are having a wonderful start to the new year. Thanks for joining us for the second episode of 2025, and we will see you here next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.
So you can say, I'm a believer, 'cause I'm living my life for Christ. Yes, you can say